Do you think your logo designs are actually good enough? Does it even matter how good your logos are or not? The first sign that your logo designs are perhaps not up to scratch often results in the logo design looking gimmicky, unprofessional, and even outdated. Now, this often happens when a logo designer is eager to impress and decides to throw a bunch of effects and software filters onto their logo design. This ultimately leads to an over-reliance on software effects and software functions. So we're talking about the use of excess gradients, crazy or complex typography, drop shadows, bevels, and just unnecessary effects that really have no place. Now, if you take a good logo, it allows its form, its shape psychology, and composition to do all the talking, not bells and whistles that look like, well, pretty much 90s clip art. A mature and really professional logo designer can actually move past these gimmicky effects, and they can make logos that are truly iconic and stand the test of time. Now, the next sign that your logo design doesn't necessarily cut the mustard is something I was personally guilty of for quite a long time. Now, it comes from a lack of attention to detail, little to no technical proficiency, and simply a designer who is rushing. This sign is sloppy or poor execution, where the designer may have a great idea or concept, but doesn't pay enough attention to the quality of the finished design. Now, here are some hallmarks that are very classic and very normal for a logo that is guilty of this. Pixelation or blurriness, which is often a result of a raster design and not a vector. Another cause of poor quality output is uneven spacing and poor alignment, and this stands out like a sore thumb and automatically looks like amateur hour. Inconsistent line thickness, unless of course it's actually intentional on, say, a more organic or hand-drawn-esque design. And then also a weird or complex composition that doesn't make any sense. So yeah, always look at your logo and scrutinize it and think, is it up to scratch? Is it neat enough? You should never skimp on the final execution of your design. Now, here's something that is so important that if you're exhibiting this warning sign, you really need to flip and reverse it right away. Let's say a small business owner, let's call her Sophie, is launching a new bakery and is in need of a logo to represent her brand. Now, she decides to hire a freelance graphic designer, Alex. Alex promises her 4 things: a quick turnaround, a quality and successful logo due to his past projects, unlimited revisions, and a bespoke design. Instead of this, Sophie gets poor communication, missed deadlines, a somewhat unoriginal logo that looks like it's been pulled up from Canva, and 1 revision. Alex sounds like a terrible person. But anyway, this is an extreme example, of course, but the message here is of over-promising and under-delivering. What you should aim to do is to over-deliver on your promises and just wow or surprise your clients. If you promise 14 days turnaround, try and send it in 10. If you promise 3 design concepts, send 4 solid concept designs. And that is how you grow a career and connections with clients. There are likely a very small percentage of beginner logo designers who aren't guilty of this next sign, and it points to their logos and their workflows just not being quote-unquote good. If a logo designer is tasked to design something for a Save the World charity, they might simply jump onto their computer and just start designing. That's a no-no. This directly ignores something called strategic design thinking. Without strategic thinking, the designer might totally ignore target audience analysis, which would result in a logo that doesn't speak the language of the people the brand intends to reach. Now, this could also result in a logo that looks good now, but it doesn't stand the test of time and has a very short lifespan. The designer might also assume that any visually appealing design will work without aligning with the organization's missions and the goals or the brand identity. When designing a logo, you need to plan and to think in a methodical way. You need to do research and approach it from a problem-solving mindset. This is how good and functional designs are created over and over again. Now, as a bonus tip, I'm going to share 3 core aspects that you should explore when thinking about strategic logo design. Target audience. Who are they? What do they like? What do they dislike? And just what makes them tick? Shape, color, and typeface psychology. How can your logo express a message and a tone via these 3 things? Memorability. How are you going to ensure the logo sticks in the mind of the target audience like a permanent but welcomed hook? Now, the 5th warning sign that your logo isn't that good is most probably one of the worst on this list, if not the worst. But at the same rate, it's the easiest to fix. So let's have a look. If you are a logo designer who is exhibiting this warning sign, you can expect some of your logos to represent this. Unfinished and rushed designs that look unprofessional. A competitive disadvantage against other similar client brands. Doesn't match the brand or client identity. Missed opportunities for good concept creation and execution. Now, what can actually cause your logo or a logo to have these negative traits? Simply put, it's a lack of iteration and revision on the designer's part. It's so easy to make a design and to just settle on that first design. But this is such a killer to a logo design career, it's unreal. All it takes is to give things a bit more time and to evolve your first designs, while of course referring to the brief and the research. Now, 99% of the time, your second design or second iteration of a design will be better than the very first design you make. That is, if you approach the iteration with design thinking and a problem-solving mentality in the logo design project. The next sign that your logo design approach isn't as good as it could be refers to the latter stages of a project. Now, providing clients with logo files that are not properly formatted or optimized for various different applications is something you want to avoid, and examples here might be missing vector files, incorrect color modes, poorly named files, and so on. Now, this can lead to compatibility issues and hinder the logo's usability or usage at the other end for the client. To increase your chances of getting more work from the client you're working with, do not rush or mismanage the end stages of the project. We're talking about the packaging and the presentation. Don't underestimate this whatsoever. You can technically build a career and earn money from logo designs that show these negative signs in today's video, but it's a lot more difficult than if you just fix and address these signs. Also, you have a far greater chance of scaling up your career and earning more money if you can fix any of the issues in today's video. It really depends on how serious you want to take the art of logo design and how serious and how far you want to take your career. But if you want to learn more professional tips on professional design solutions, just click that video on screen. But until next time, guys, design your future today. Peace.